Alright guys, so we're going to be talking about Modern Warfare 2 Multiplayer Remastered. I know I've talked about this a couple of times before and a bunch of people are talking about this here, but I want to go through different information within this video, bring different perspectives as to what is actually going to happen with MW2 Multiplayer Remastered. I want to talk about what people are saying about an expected release, a trailer release, potentially at the end of this month, why they're doing it so soon, what's going on. Does Call of Duty 2020 being delayed have anything to do with this? Just a lot of different stuff I want to go through within this video. So if you can leave a like, that would be really sick. If we can go for 500 likes, I haven't done a like goal in about 4 years, I'm pretty sure, but if we can go for 500 likes, that would be insane. So thank you guys for coming out to the video. Let's get started here. I'm going to preface this video by reading a tweet from Keith up on screen. A lot of inaccurate information getting thrown around like candy out of a piñata. So Keith knows what's going on, affiliated with Activision, and he's seeing a bunch of the stuff specifically being talked about, especially on Twitter, with all these random accounts talking about MW2 Multiplayer Remastered. So I want to preface this video by saying that, people up at Activision, people looking at this here, they know what's going on, and they're saying, okay, there's a lot of stuff you guys are talking about that just simply isn't true. Throughout this video, the leaks that I talk about will either be more realistic or less realistic, and I'll tell you guys which ones specifically have a better chance of actually happening as opposed to some of the other leaks. So first thing here, I have to say this, Activision did say, rather than release a separate multiplayer experience as a standalone pack, Activision Infinity Ward are looking to bring more classic map experiences to new life within Modern Warfare 2019 as it continues to grow and build over time. So again, they officially said this, and this sort of disproves the leaks, but at the same time, you have this leak here, the long sensation, along with the Game Revolution as well, but the long sensation, very credible, and he's saying a bunch of stuff here. I'm getting lots of questions about when MW2 Multiplayer Remastered will release. So here's what I know. 1, I have no idea. 2, is being worked on and has been for some time. I mentioned this in a live stream last year. 3, COD 2020 Black Ops Reboot was in a bad place and will be in a worse place now due to what's going on right now. And his theory is that it could release this year to help keep Activision stock prices healthy if COD 2020 gets delayed until 2021, which is looking more and more likely as the days go by. That's obviously a whole nother situation there, because if COD 2020 is expected to be delayed until 2021, so let's say fall 2021, then MW2 Multiplayer Remastered would make more sense to release around this fall 2020. If it's not the case, and it's only delayed by a couple of months, so COD 2020 is going to release December 2020, let's say, then MW2 Multiplayer Remastered would make a lot more sense to be on track with MW2 right now, almost as soon as the end of this month as an official release date for MW2 Multiplayer Remastered, which we'll talk about later on within this video. So someone's also talking to the long sensation, will they still reveal it though? And he's saying not sure. There were plans for a May release, but obviously that's very unlikely to happen now. And I don't want to go too much with COD 2020 here, but COD 2020 and what happens with that game is going to heavily impact when and how we get MW2 Multiplayer Remastered, so that's why I'm including it. So the leaks here and what people have been saying, you really don't even need a leak to know this. COD 2020 100% delayed. It's going to happen. It might not be a huge delay, it might just be a minor delay, but that's gotta happen. Every other game is being delayed, so let's just get that out of the way. Another thing here at COD 2020, we know this already, it's gonna be released with next-gen consoles. Now this is another important fact. Will it take more time to develop COD 2020 because they're also developing for the next-gen consoles alongside the current-gen consoles? We'll see how that pans out as well. But now, MW2 Remastered, this year is the best time to see MW2 Remastered release. As the long sensation said, and a bunch of the leaks were saying, that MW2 Remastered multiplayer, has sort of been in development for a while now. They had campaign ready since 2018. We saw that from the trademark on MW2 Campaign Remastered. It says trademark 2018 Activision, meaning that it was completed back in 2018, and everyone's saying as well that multiplayer was being worked on, being tested. So if there's any time for it to release officially, this year would be the best time. It's almost the perfect timing. There's a game delay, and if you release MW2 Multiplayer Remastered, it wouldn't split up any communities because the new game is being delayed. Now, here's some other stuff. This is where we get into the information, stuff people are saying on Twitter where it's like, okay, is this going to actually happen? What are the chances of this happening? I can't put an actual percentage on this, but let's talk about what people are saying and let's just assess this here. Let's assess the information. So MW2 Remastered Multiplayer Season 3 release, meaning that it will release at some point during the span of Season 3. Now, what does that mean? Season 3 already started. It's going to end around the end of May, probably the first or second week of June. So we have until now, until the beginning of June, to pretty much see MW2 Remastered Multiplayer if we're going alongside what we're seeing here from a bunch of different people. And again, who knows how credible this is, but it does make a lot of sense. Right now, MW2, although it did release a couple of weeks ago, it is a major selling point. I mean, it was the top selling game at the end of March. Even though the game only released right at the end of March, MW2 Campaign Remastered only had a day or two to rack up all of the sales, and it was still one of the most downloaded games of March. So it's showing you how much hype there is behind MW2, and we're still in the MW2 season. Right now, MW2 Campaign Remastered is still only out for the PS4. It still isn't out for the Xbox One and PC, so there's going to be another spike and boost of talk and hype and popularity and playtime of MW2 Campaign Remastered when it's released to the other consoles. What that means is that that would be a perfect time to release MW2 Multiplayer Remastered right when everyone gets access to the Campaign Remastered, everyone's talking about it, and then boom, a surprise reveal for MW2 Multiplayer Remastered, maybe even a surprise release right at that time. Everyone's talking about it and it's, accessible to everyone right then and there. So even if you saw that from a leak, even if you didn't see that from a leak, it doesn't matter if you came up with that idea yourself, that makes a lot of sense. So no matter where we're getting this information from, I mean, this could just be a theory, but it makes sense for them to do that, for MW2 Remastered to have that much hype at that point again, once it's fully released for everyone. Right now, even this month, everyone's talking about MW2. That would be a very good time to see Multiplayer Remastered release for MW2. So next thing here, MW2 multiplayer trailer around April 30th. April 30th, obviously, is the release of the Xbox One and PC version of MW2 Remastered, Campaign Remastered, that is. And obviously the theory is that, okay, you know what, they release the Campaign Remastered for the rest of the consoles, they do some sort of teaser, they say, okay, available now, Xbox One and PC, MW2 Campaign Remastered, and oh, by the way, here's a quick teaser. They tease multiplayer, they don't say anything, and then maybe it gets released at the end of Season 3, and maybe the theme for Season 4 is that, look, we have MW2 Multiplayer Remastered as well alongside everything else, and we get to play that through the rest of the summer, and we'll continue to get content for both games, and that brings us into whenever COD 2020 is going to be released. If it's December 2020 or at some point in 2021, that would be a good thing to keep Call of Duty up and running, especially with people, being interested in playing the game. Like I said at the beginning of the video, however, we have to be realistic and we have to assess these leaks individually. So the likelihood of COD 2020 being delayed is pretty good. It's a pretty good likelihood. If you had to bet on it, the best chance you'd have to win money, to win your bet, would be to bet on that COD 2020 is going to be delayed. Now, what's the least likely to happen? It's a bold prediction. It's a bold thing that people are saying. MW2 Multiplayer Remastered to be released as soon as the end of this month, as soon as some point within Season 3, and even as soon as within the next 2 months. That's a bold prediction, especially from the fact that, Activision did say it's not going to happen, and obviously right now there's no real reason for them to release MW2 Multiplayer Remastered because Warzone is still very popular. Modern Warfare Multiplayer even though a lot of people aren't playing it as much, it's still generally fairly popular. There's a lot of stuff people are enjoying with Call of Duty right now, and for Activision, you have to think there really is no real reason to release MW2 Multiplayer Remastered as soon as this month. I mean, you can make the case, now what's the likelihood of MW2 Multiplayer Remastered releasing in fall of this year? I think that likelihood is a lot greater than it releasing now, but again, we don't know that just yet. I think the huge deciding factor into this is once we get some official information on COD 2020. the first thing we see with COD 2020, it's going to tell us a lot about what we're going to see and if we see MW2 multiplayer remasters. If we see the first teaser for COD 2020, it mentions nothing about it being delayed, and then we have an official announcement saying that COD 2020 is releasing October 2020, pre-order now, all of this different stuff, then it's not going to be delayed. And then honestly, I don't know about the chances of seeing MW2 multiplayer remastered at all this year. I feel like if they have a normal teaser schedule and a normal release for COD 2020, I can't see them releasing an MW2 multiplayer remastered. Now, if they say it's delayed, I think it's very possible, but the delay is key. If it's delayed until 2021 and there's a whole year extra until we see COD 2020, then MW2 multiplayer remastered most likely going to be in the fall. If there's a slight delay, I can see them releasing the multiplayer a bit in the middle, so not right before COD 2020, a couple of months before COD 2020, and that would be maybe around the summer. The summer is a pretty good time. You have July, August, and then pretty much you have August, September, and maybe a little bit of October. You have 2.5, 3 months until the next Call of Duty releases. That wouldn't be that bad, so we'll see what they do here. But again, like I said, don't believe everything you see. Who knows if this is credible? Who knows if Activision even has MW2 multiplayer remastered in the works? There's a lot of different ifs here, but I do want to present the information to you guys, and I want to go through the possibilities of it, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So hopefully you guys do appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Also, leave a comment below MW2 if you watched the whole video. It's greatly appreciated as always. Again, I forget to like all of your guys' comments, but I do scroll through the comments. I see the accounts that are watching the whole video, and I definitely take note of that. So thank you guys, and that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later.